Welcome to being incarnated on planet Earth. You are now gifted with the supernatural abilities because of our planet passing through a sector of the universe that activates God DNA within every man, woman, child. You are the new keeper of the flames of love. You are the keepers of supernatural powers when you invoke I am. And you are the gatekeeper of miracles every day and every way. I salute you in the spirit of Ubuntu. Ashe, Aho, Donada, Wado. So let it be spoken.
Family, I am here with a magical moment of young musicians. And this is Kim, Sister Kim, and she has a message about investing into the future musicians of our community. Sister Kim, tell us what you got here.
Hi everyone, Kim, proud parent of children at the Big Apple Leadership Academy for the Arts. We teach HBCU high-stepping marching band to our kids from age 5 and up. It is a free after-school program, tuitionless, and it's open to all. Our kids are amazing. If you can, jump on our website. We're looking for support, donations. Our kids need new instruments so that they can high step on. Our website is www.balaa.org, BALAA.org. And I appreciate the time. Thank you. Thank you so much.
And so family, listen up close. We're talking about investing in the artists of tomorrow. By investing in them, if you have a little expendable change to invest in the youth, the genius, this is the opportunity. And in this description on this video will be the details of sending your donation to PayPal or Zelle or Cash App.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Okay. So thank you for your support. Our children are the future.
Call to the warrior in you, to the healer in you, the king, the queen, the magician, the lover in you. Every single day, we are called to walk in our purpose. Answer the call. Lay down your burden and anything that holds you back and take your rightful place. The battle is everywhere. It's right in your face. Let's go.
Crystals and pyramids. Success is your destiny. Yes.
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Ar-Rahmanir Rahim. Maliki Yawmiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'een. Ihdina siratal mustaqim. Siratal ladina an'amta alayhim. Ghayril maghdubi alayhim waladdallin. Alhamdulillah. Dr. Sanada Kamara, co-founder of Temple Mother Earth, sending love, peace, and abundance prayer to everyone around the world.
Beloved mighty and present, great hosts of sitting and ascended masters, great angelicals, great cosmic beings who govern the system of worlds and the seven light beings. Lord, we call upon your grace to heal the earth of the actions of the sinister forces. Their plan is to eliminate the population in the most horrible and murderous ways. They have already poisoned our food with things we can't even pronounce. They poison the water with fluoride. They poison the air with chemtrails. They have poisoned the medicine with side effects that will kill you if you take it. And they have poisoned the technology against mankind. They have weaponized all these things against mankind. We call upon your grace to free us from the sinister forces whose diabolical plan is to make this world the most hellish place. America, which was the light of the world, that was brought to the world, established in this world, to make every human being here ascendant, and then to have that spread throughout the world. Lord, we ask you to incarnate in this very planet. Incarnate in mass, incarnate with sitters and ascended masters, with divine beings of every type to bring in revolutions of meditation, revolution of mantra repetition, revolution of chanting, revolution of spreading love and light, revolutions of knowledge. Lord, we call upon you to empower us with our divine selves, so that we can rid the world of these very sinister forces whose aim is to do nothing but create this place to be a Sodom and Gomorrah. We already know that Earth is the most wicked planet in the universe. Let us turn it to be the light of the world, so that it is the greatest planet in the universe, so that we excel even what is happening in the great central sun. As a matter of fact, Lord, we ask all the beings from the great central sun to incarnate on the earth, to incarnate on the earth, to incarnate on the earth within us, so that we could do the work that I'm begging for now. Oh Lord, I ask this in the name of Swami Nityananda Paramahansa, Bhagavan Nityananda, Guru Mahachivilasananda, beloved Saint Germain, Lord Jesus the Christ, Lord Buddha, Allah, and the great Sanat Kumar. Almighty I am, Almighty I am, Almighty I am.
Greetings, loved ones. My prayer for you for 2024 is to be in a vibrational receiving match. A vibrational receiving match for happiness, for giving, for gratitude, for wisdom, for discernment, with abundance of blessings, for your soul tribe, for your soulmate, for your open-mindedness, for your spiritual growth, for divine love, and for a healthy, emotional, physical, spiritual body. I wish you all these things and pray that you receive all these things in the year 2024. I'll take it all languages. Ashe, Amin, and Namaste. You can reach me at Instagram, Sequoia_spirit, that is SEQUOIA. Again, I wish you all these blessings and so much more in the year of 2024. Thank you.
Greetings, everyone. Welcome to another Moorish Monday with Abdullah Il Talib Mosi Bey. I have a special guest tonight, Sister Louisa Flores, and the day's topic. She was one of the keynote speakers at the Moorish Political Unity Conference here in Philadelphia on May 18th, 2024. She is also a committee member of the Human Rights Nationality for our children national campaign. I'm going to read her bio and bring her. Louisa Flores was born in Harlem, New York. Her grandparents and parents and mentors such as Jerry Woolley, Billy Mitchell, Akil Rose, Jean Rojas, and Vivian Castillo laid the foundation for Sister Louisa's humanitarian works in the communities in New York and along the East Coast. Sister Louisa was a keynote speaker at the May 18th, 2024 Moorish Political Unity Conference, and conference gave Sister Louisa this conference gave Sister Louisa greater purpose and structure to be a conduit to facilitate Moorish nationality, Moorish history, and Moorish political unity education. Mother, as Hank, is Sister is she backstage? She's not backstage. She's just trying to. She did text me, said she was trying to get on. I saw, so I texted. I had also emailed it to her and sent it to a telegram. So, hey, brother Israel, bring your camera on.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go off and try to reach her. All right. So talk about the upcoming class, May 10th class, and then also have the Moorish Midwest educational network. All right.
All right. Peace. Let me pull the screen up real quick. Hold on. All right. All right. I need this screen shared, Brother Hank. All right. So yeah, we have here the Moorish Midwest Educational Network. Point of context, myself, Yisrael Bey, 859-979-0041. You can reach me via email at kentatenmers7@gmail.com. So that's KENTAHTENMUURS7@gmail.com. And make this bigger so I can see. All right. The other point of contact is Brother Abdullah El Talib Mosey Bey. You can contact him via phone 215-300-5471 or via email etymologyvocabulary@gmail.com. ETYMOLOGYVOCABULARY@gmail.com. And our administrative assistant, would be Amanda Siegel. And the plan is to facilitate study groups in 10 major cities. So we're going to facilitate study groups in 10 major cities, show the value of proper education, showing how it's a major help and resource for our people. So the value of proper education is a major help and resource for our people. The 10 major cities that we'll be facilitating the study groups in will be Lexington, Louisville, Cincinnati, Columbus, Cleveland, Pittsburgh, Detroit, Indianapolis, St. Louis, and Chicago. All right, the Moorish Midwest Educational Network study sessions every first and third Wednesday of the month from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Live on Zoom. It will be a reoccurring Zoom link. We sent that out via Telegram, Facebook, personal phone text message. The starting date will be Wednesday, this week, Wednesday, March 5th, 2025. So in 2 days, we'll begin teaching about nationality and national identity. You know, the difference between nationality and national identity. Let me see. We'll be teaching about, so let me see. So week 1, March 5th, the connection between nationality and sovereignty. That would be part 1. The connection between nationality and sovereignty. The first subject matter would be nationality and national identity. So that would be the first subject matter. Second subject matter, Francois Bonner's concept of color is taught in the United States public schools. Black and white as race of people. All right. Third subject matter will be denationalization and dehumanization. See Federal Directive number 15. Fourth subject matter, the evolution versus the devolution / reconstruction of words as a silent weapon. Black and white under the 9 parts of speech. So we're going to take the words black and white through the 9 parts of speech, you know, find its proper part of speech and go from there, you know, its proper application. The fifth subject matter will be, what is the purpose of miseducating a foreign people about their identity? So yeah. So those will be the topics for the first week of the Moorish Midwest Educational Network sessions. Brother's still not on. So yeah, it's just to cover. I guess I'll go into the first subject matter.
Islam, brother.
Abdullah Bey is having a problem technically. The featured guest hasn't arrived, probably other technical challenges. So if you can carry on the program, maybe perhaps share with the family your journey. How you got to this point? Because I know for the most part, we are sort of like the bones in the valley of Babylon.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, while we're waiting for Abdullah Bey and his featured guest, just want to thank all of the audience for participation. The family is growing. So if you can put in the comments what city, what state, what country, or planet you may be listening to.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, I'm Yisrael Bey again. I reside at I domicile at Lexington, Kentucky. You know, the land is called Kentucky. The indigenous name of the land is Kentucky. Kentucky is a French name. So Kentucky, this land was part of the French zone at one point in time, until it was transferred to the Transylvania Company, dealing with the Virginia Company, England and all. So yeah, that's where I am. My journey in life was started off rough in the beginning. Had to catch on to learn some things, but I got to this knowledge. It was because of the bumpy roads. I got tired of bumping my head a lot here and every time I turn around, bump my head. People call them L's, but I learned to look at them as lessons. So yeah, as lessons.
Yeah, it's like that, man. I got
Yeah.
into Moorish history, family. I'm gonna share something about my Moorish origins. I was active duty medic back in the '70s. I'm not on screen only because I'm chomping
Yeah.
down on vegetable lo mein and some broccoli, family. So I don't want y'all seeing how savage I can be. I get a fork in my hands, but I'm sure that y'all can relate. But uh, I was stationed in South Florida, and my family uh, I met from Dick Gregory, Muhammad Ali's nutritionist, Dave Jones. Is a brother who's still there. He's an elder now. I met him when he's about 40. Now he's like in his 80s. So that's like 25, 30 years ago. And my big sister, Sister Denise Wilson L., was the first one to tell me about the Moorish legacy. And
Right.
I was nothing short of in awe of the information she shared. The Holy Quran, the circle, we call it the circle with the 7 in the middle.
Yep.
And I see Abdullah L. Bey is back. So that's where I got started from. And it's been a learning journey since,
Yep.
So
Indeed.
go ahead, brother. I don't see anybody else, Abdullah Bey.
I don't. I called her. It was ringing. I don't know what's going on. She said she was trying to download. I said she didn't need to download it, and that I sent it to us. Then I sent it to her email. Sent it to her Telegram. So we're gonna go with another topic.
Oh, you know
All right.
what? Here's a suggestion. Have her call in and talk through your telephone.
Right. Let me call her again. The phone is just going to voicemail now. I'll try to call again. All right.
Yeah, call her and because sometimes if she's over the age of 20, she might be technically challenged.
All right. So she can call you.
No, call you, bro. You
Well,
just
I'm
do
on
your
my
show.
I'm on my phone.
You can still call. What kind of phone you got? iPhone or Android?
Android. Yeah, I know. She won't be able to call in on my phone.
She say that again.
She won't be able to call my phone. Israel, you on your?
Yeah.
Can she call your phone?
Yeah, she called my phone.
All right, no problem. She can't. Yeah. All right. Let me try to get her again.
All right.
Okay, so I guess I should have a little more time. So Muhammad Ali's nutritionist, he tried to get me away from scrambled egg and cheese back in 1980. Because he was talking about diet and things of sort. But the thing that family, unless you know eating vegetables is good, it's a move in the right direction, but you got to balance it out with mushrooms and sacred herbs. Vegetarianism is incomplete, and that's why you look at some vegetarians, they look like either they're potato-tarian or they look like they've been just chewing on a blade of grass and they look famished. It's because we've been missing the crucial ingredient, and that's the mushroom kingdom. Mushrooms for eating, turkey tail, lion's mane, cordyceps, reishi, from making tea to eating the various mushrooms. So it's been a long journey, and all acknowledgement to Prophet Noble Drew Ali, And most of us, probably in the audience, we might even have folks in our family that remember back in the day enjoying um, wild tobacco called rabbit tobacco. You know, from the southern states, if that's where my family origins are. Where your people from, man?
Kentucky.
Kentucky.
My grandfather's father was from Mississippi.
Wow.
So
Yeah, man. My family's from Virginia, North Carolina.
yeah.
You know, they took to Virginia. I'm just like, man, what was going on back in the day when those pilgrims rolled up on the coast? How come we didn't do them like the Japanese did them? The Japanese looked at them and said, no, we can't let them on. No, hell no.
Yeah.
So they commenced to, chopping the heads off right at the beach. So you ain't coming on my land. Like what happened to our shamans and medicine women back in the day that they couldn't see that this is going to be a problem? I always think about that.
Yeah.
How come our folks didn't see? That's almost like, I'm sure they had a runny nose and looked famished. I mean, it's like, when we call back up and say, look, we got a problem on the beach, y'all.
Yeah.
Imagine what the outcome would have been if we would have dealt with it no further than the beach. It's trying to make me wonder. All right, here comes Abdullah. Hold on. All right, bro.
I just talked to her daughter. Her daughter's gonna call her and see what's going on. So in the meantime, what we'll do is I'll just give a lesson until she comes on. All right, so Israel, I'm gonna talk. What's that, Hank?
I'm going backstage, bro.
All right, yes. I'm gonna discuss some of the things I sent you today, Israel.
All right.
The Johnson case, Johnson and McIntyre, McIntosh case that I sent you.
Yeah.
Yes. You have that available at hand. Can you read? Yeah, read that. Yes.
Says the U.S. Supreme Court has ruled on conquest in several cases, including Johnson versus McIntosh, 1823, and Downs versus Bidwell, 1901. Johnson versus McIntosh. In this 1823 case, the Supreme Court ruled that the principle of discovery gave European nations the right to take land from Native Americans. The court ruled that Native Americans had a right of occupancy, but no title to the land. The court's decision was based on the idea that the federal government controlled the land, so Native Americans had no title to it. The decision was based on the doctrine of discovery, a legal doctrine that was used to justify the exploitation of colonies.
All right, go reread that part where it says the court ruled that the federal government, reread that, and I'm going to go from there. The federal government.
The court's decision was based on the idea that the federal government controlled the land, so Native Americans had no title to it.
All right, so let me go from there. The court ruled that the federal government controlled the land. So let me just stop there. So let's stop there. Now, that is constitutional. It's not unconstitutional. Let me explain. The federal government controls the land. Article 4, Section 3 of the United States Constitution, where the land is in the hands of Congress. Now, how did that come to be? What is the history that led to the drafting of Article 4, Section 3 of the United States Constitution? Because it's based in the continuation of European conquest, subjugation, and colonization. This is not the Moorish Constitution. This is not our Constitution. That's supreme when it says the federal government controls the land. That is constitutional. Based on the language in the Constitution. Now the question is, what's the history of the drafting of that article? Let's go to the history of the drafting of Article 4, Section 3 of the United States Constitution, where Congress can dispose of land. Article 4, Section 3, admit new states. How did that come about? It didn't start at the Constitutional Convention. So because we start there. No, you don't start there. You don't start at the Constitutional Convention. You don't start in 1787 at the Constitutional Convention. What is the history that led to that? That is called contextual analysis, contextual interpretation. Analyzing Article 4, Section 3 of the United States Constitution in the context of history. What is the history that led to the drafting of it? Come on now, let's think like a jurist. Let's think like a jurist. So we don't start with reading Article 4, Section 3. That's called textual. So I'm going to give them the three types of interpretations, Israel. When you read Article 4, Section 3, that is called textual interpretation. Just reading the text, interpreting based on the reading of the plain text. That's called textual interpretation. You have comparative interpretation, where you use other texts, bring in other texts, and you compare it to the text in which you're reading, you're analyzing. You have contextual interpretation, where you're analyzing, interpreting Article 4, Section 3 in the context of the history in which it was drafted. Let's go there. Contextual interpretation. So we don't start at the Constitutional Convention. All right, so it is constitutional because Congress does control the federal government. I mean, Congress does control the land. How did Congress come to control the land? What is the history behind that? So we read the Supreme Court decision. We don't even start there. How did Congress come to control land? How did that come to be drafted in the Constitution? All right. So we're gonna deal with that. And so we're looking at the Northwest Territory. The Northwest Territory that includes the state, part of the state of Minnesota, Michigan, Ohio, Indiana, Wisconsin, and Illinois. That is known as the Northwest Territory. How did the United States come in possession of the Northwest Territory? France colonized. France conquered. United States didn't conquer. United States didn't colonize. France did in the 1600s. In the 1670s, France conquered and colonized our land. The French under Louis XIV, Louisiana Territory, King Louis XIV of France. So you're looking at Canada, the Northwest Territory, and the Louisiana Territory were surveyed by and conquered and colonized by France in the 1600s. You have, now we're going to go up to 1754. 1754, was called the French and Indian War. That's the war between Great Britain and France from 1754 to 1763. This is called contextual interpretation. France lost the war. So the war ended with the peace treaty between France and Great Britain. Now, France was supposed to cede the Louisiana territory to Great Britain, but France, a year before, without Great Britain knowing it, ceded it to Spain in 1762 through the Treaty of Fontainebleau. That's how it became into possession. So Spain gained territorial sovereignty over the Louisiana territory. France transferred it through the 1762 Treaty of Fontainebleau. Great Britain, France ceded Canada and the Louisiana territory, the Northwest Territory, to Great Britain and the 1762 Peace Treaty. And so when the Revolutionary War started in 1774, 4 years later, the Patriots, the 13 states gained control, defeated Great Britain in 1778 in that area, took control of the Northwest Territory, part of Minnesota, Indiana, Ohio, Illinois, Michigan. The states could control of that. They defeated the Great Britain in that area. This is 1778. There were six of the largest states laid claims to it. This is 1778. Lays claims to it. This was a major dispute among the states. The six largest states they were called landed states. They made claims to the Northwest Territory. The seven smaller states, were, the issue was that the smaller states were fearful that the larger states would grow larger politically and economically. So so the Articles of Confederation, though it was drafted in 1777, it was not ratified until 1781. That was one of the major reasons why it took 4 years to ratify it. They would be rattled by war debt and dealing with the dispute over the Northwest Territory. Now, though the six largest states gained control from Great Britain of the Northwest Territory, it was officially ceded by treaty in 1783, called the 1783 Definitive Peace Treaty between Great Britain and the United States. Now, why the treaty, Abdullah? They already had control they already gained control of the land. Why is the treaty necessary? Good question. Glad you asked. Based on the 1713 Treaty of Utrecht, Utrecht, Treaty of Utrecht, that ended this War of Spanish Succession. The War of Spanish Succession was between 1701 and 1713. Those states, the European states that were in the war on both sides, made an agreement that they would not snatch land from one another without a treaty. So the treaty was necessary based on the Treaty of Utrecht for it to be officially recognized. It had to be done by treaty. It had to be ceded by treaty. Though the states had control of it 5 years before the treaty, but the treaty, because of the Treaty of Utrecht, that was necessary so it could be officially recognized through treaty. So Article 2 of the 1783 treaty between Great Britain and the United States is the survey language of the Northwest Territory. The following year, 1784, Virginia, one of the states that made claims, ceded it to the federal government, relinquished her claim, and all of the states followed. So now we're going to be getting into contextual history now, contextual interpretation. How did Article 4, Section 3 come about? It started in 1787. They didn't start in 1787 and the 1787 and just sit down drafting. It doesn't work like that. They're settling disputes. So this is a settling of dispute. So Thomas Jefferson in 1784 drafted the land ordinance of 1784. And that was a business plan to make states out of the Northwest Territory. That wasn't strong enough because the contention was that they wanted Samuel Chase in 1782 of Maryland, one of the smallest states that did not have claims to the Northwest Territory, proposed that it would be placed in the hands of Congress. It would be managed by Congress. This was 1782, proposal by Samuel Chase of Maryland. Virginia was not in agreement with that because Virginia gained more power, came strong, as far as large land, So Virginia was not in agreement with that. So this took some time to iron out. So that Virginia eventually ceded or relinquished the claims to the federal government in 1784. United States Congress assembled in 1784. And other states followed, 1785, 86, 87, even 88, 89, 80, 1780. So the land ordinance of 1785, they still did not have the language of it being managed by Congress, because they did not want, the smaller states did not want it to be had in the hands of the other states. So it says here comes the Constitutional Convention. It still had not been ironed out. There was a smaller committee that met outside of the Constitutional Convention that drafted the Northwest Ordinance of 1787, which include some of the provisions in the Land Ordinance of 1784, drafted by Thomas Jefferson, and the Land Ordinance of 1785. But what was the language that brought the agreement to the table to be agreed upon? That the land would be managed in the hands of Congress, and that the new states will be on equal footing with the new states will be on equal footing with the 13 original states. So they took it, the smaller committee took it over to the Constitutional Convention. Then they drafted from the Northwest Ordinance of 1787. They drafted Article 4, Section 3. All right. So, but the land is our land that France conquered, that Great Britain defeated France, and France ceded it to Great Britain. The United States, the states defeated Great Britain and got it from Great Britain. So chain of custody from us to France to Great Britain to the states, United States. So Article 4, Section 3 is where the land is managed by Congress. Congress has. So I'm giving you the historical interpretation of the Supreme Court decision. I'm giving you the historical interpretation of Article 4, Section 3. This will empower us. We have to know that our land, that the United States Constitution is the continuation of European conquest, colonization, and subjugation of our land. Let me go international law on you. I mentioned territorial sovereignty. Territorial sovereignty is an application of law in international law. There are elements to territorial sovereignty. France relinquishes the territorial sovereignty to Great Britain over the Northwest Territory. Great Britain relinquishes it to the United States. The element of territorial sovereignty is the land. Not only the land is changed over, also the inhabitants. So when it says the federal government controls it, I'm giving you how they did that, how they came to control it. How the federal, because it was agreed upon by the Northwest Ordinance and drafted in Article 4, Section 3. The Supreme Court justices know what I know. The Supreme Court justices know what I know. Based on the language of the Constitution. That's a constitutional decision. Based on the construction. Remember, the Supreme Court is what? Looking at the constructive language of Article 4, Section 3. The Supreme Court justice ain't come out of thin air to render that decision. The decision is based on the constructive language in Article 4, Section 3 of the Constitution. And they also know what I know. International law, territorial sovereignty. They also know what I know dealing with the history. So they know the historical interpretation. They know contextual interpretation. And they know comparative interpretation. They are jurists. You don't start with Constitutional Convention. You don't start with the Constitution, reading it. That's textual. That's limited. The Supreme Court justices have the knowledge of international law, application of territorial sovereignty, of acquisition of nationality through subjugation and cession, conquest, discovery, subjugation, loss of sovereignty, acquisition of territory. They have this knowledge of international law. And they have the knowledge of the history that I know, that I'm giving you now. Any questions? Any questions? I know it's a lot. I know it's new because this is new Israel. United States Constitution, the Moorish Constitution. 35, we the people of the United States. That's the Moors. 35 Moors at the United States Constitutional Convention. I know. It's new because because of that, because of the misconceptions. All right. What I'm saying is, let me take back what I'm saying. What I'm saying is not a lot. So I take that back. Let me explain what I mean by that. And Israel knows where I'm going with this. I say this all the time. What I'm saying is not complicated. What I'm saying is not a lot, so I take that back. What it is because conscious Moors has been inundated with misconceptions by other conscious Moors. I raise my hand. I'm one of them. I'm one of the conscious Moors for 25 years because I cannot talk about others without talking about myself. I'm part of that. Yeah. So if I'm going to talk about those conscious Moors, I'm part of those. I'm part of those conscious Moors that taught misconceptions. So I will never just talk about those conscious. I'm part of those.
Yeah, I was caught in the tangle too. Yeah,
I'm part of those. I'm part of those conscious Moors who taught misconceptions to conscious Moors that 35 Moors was at the United States Constitutional Convention in 1787. I'm part of those conscious Moors who taught for 25 years, thousands of conscious Moors, that we, the people of the United States, are the Moors. That the Moors are the sovereign power, authority of the United States. That Moors are we, the people of the United States. That the Moors are the founders of the United States. I taught that for 25 years to thousands of conscious Moors. So what I'm saying is not a lot. It's when you hear this, I thought we were the people of the United States. I thought we were part and parcel of this said government, or parcel. I thought 35 Moors was at the United States Constitutional Convention. I thought the Moors were the founders of the Constitution. I thought the Moors were the founders, the drafters of the Constitution. So so you listening to me, man, Abdullah don't know what he's talking about. Because so-and-so said, even Abdullah, you said, even you, Abdullah, you said, Abdullah, you even said that we, the people of the United States, are the Moors. Abdullah, you even said that 35 Moors was the Constitutional Convention. Abdullah, you even said that the Moors were the founders of the Constitution, drafters of the Constitution. You even said that, Abdullah. Yes, I said that. And guess what? Like the rest of the conscious Moors, I was a Paul Parrot. Like the rest of the conscious Moors, I was a Paul Parrot. No finding of facts. A Paul Parrot like the rest of the conscious Moors. I'm no longer like the rest of the conscious Moors. I'm no longer a Paul Parrot. When I make a claim, I got finding of facts to back up what I'm saying. So I'm not like the rest of the conscious Moors. I used to be. So you will not hear me say, so-and-so said. So-and-so said. So-and-so said. So-and-so said. What did I do? Did I say so-and-so said? What I gave to? I referenced treaties. Because the treaties is what? The vehicle by which the territorial sovereignty was ceded. The Supreme Court rests her decision based on that. That's a constitutional decision based on the construction of the Constitution. It's the continuation. They're making it very clear. A continuation of European conquest, colonization, and subjugation, now managed by the United States. And the land is in the controlled and managed by Congress. Where did those Europeans who petitioned for statehood, for Kentucky statehood. Where did they get the land from? Where did the Europeans who petitioned for Kentucky statehood get the land from? Congress. Article 4, Section 3, Clause 2 of the United States Constitution. Congress has what? The power to dispose of the land. I told you how the Congress gained that power. We already went through that. I'm saying, how did the Europeans who petitioned for Kentucky statehood gain the land? How was it given by Congress? Congress disposed of it. Once Congress sent a delegate, once they petitioned, the Europeans who petitioned for statehood, and they had to meet the requirements that set in the Northwest Ordinance in 1787 for its population. And once the requirements are met, they sent the petition, and Congress sends a delegation of authority order to those who sent the petition for statehood for them to what? Have a constitutional convention. They couldn't have it on. Those that they did not on their own authority. They did not on their own authority have a constitutional convention. That has to come from, that authority came from Congress. Congress sends a delegation authority order upon reviewing their petition for statehood, application for statehood. And once they meet the requirements, then Congress sends a delegation, a delegation authority order for them to have a constitutional convention. The land is disposed by Congress. Our land that they got from Spain, that was ceded to them by Spain, ceded to them by France, 1803, Louisiana Purchase Treaty, ceded to them by United States of Mexico, 1854, 57, ceded them by Florida, ceded to them by Spain, 1818. Come on now. So here we go. 1803, we're looking at 15. So let's go back now. When France cedes Louisiana to Spain, 1762. So France, now it becomes Spanish Louisiana. It's Spanish Louisiana, not French Louisiana anymore. It's Spanish Louisiana. Because now France cedes the territorial sovereignty to Spain through the treaty. So now the French subjects didn't go anywhere. The Spanish crown brings in her people, Spanish subjects. We're there, being abused by them, and the French Code Noir, 1724, Black Codes, French Code Noir, 1724. Spain mismanages it. Spain abuses the French subjects. Spain mismanages the land. So it's a hot potato for Spain now. They retroceded to France in 1801. Now, France just comes out of this war with Haiti. France was in this long war with Haiti. So France is crippled with debt, was in this long war with Haiti. They get this land where Spain had territorial sovereignty for 65 years, but it's mismanaged. So let's sell it to the United States. United States knows what to do with it. Why? Because they have what? The Northwest Ordinance. They have the business plan. The Northwest Ordinance 1787. They had what? The United States had already what? Had applied the Northwest Ordinance in developing the 5 states in the Northwest Territory. So United States has the business plan. They had already settled the dispute among themselves, and it would be managed in the hands of Congress, Article 4, Section 3. So the United States already knows what to do with it. So they made, what, 14 or 15 states out of it. That's why. So the United States buys it from France, but that's nothing. Whatever they gave France is nothing. Whatever they gave France, the 10 million gold coins, is nothing. Because the United States has the territorial sovereignty of the land, and include in application of law called territorial sovereignty in international law, the elements is that if the conditions of the inhabitants is not drafted in the treaty, but it was for the French subjects, the conditions of the French subjects were drafted in the treaty, Article 3 of the Louisa Purchase Treaty, that the French subjects will become citizens of the United States. The French subjects under territorial sovereignty, the personal rights of the French subjects, mean the land grants that the French crown king granted the French subjects, are protected by the United States. Now, if the other inhabitants is not drafted in the treaty, now it's up to it now leaves it up to the United States. Now the states can determine what happens to the other inhabitants. That is the element of territorial sovereignty. United States did not conquer the land. United States did not subjugate us. France did. Spain did. France subjugated us on the Code Noir of 1724 in the Louisiana Territory. So we were already in a subjugated condition. United States received stolen goods. Let me hood it. I'm gonna bring it down to the hood level. United States is in possession of stolen goods. All right, United States didn't steal it. United States didn't steal it. France stole it. Spain stole it. Great Britain stole it. France gave stolen goods to the United States. Spain gave stolen goods to the United States. Great Britain gave stolen goods to the United States. United States is in possession of stolen goods. I'm hooding it.
Yeah.
They're in possession of stolen goods. United States did not initiate the dehumanization, the nationalization of us. We were handed over. France handed us over. That is the condition of the Cession Treaty of the Louisiana Purchase Treaty, because once again, we talk about territorial sovereignty. Look it up. The elements of territorial sovereignty in international law. If the conditions of the inhabitants is not determined in the treaty, then the state that's receiving the land through the treaty can make the determination. That's one of the elements in territorial sovereignty. So Article 4, Section 3 is where United States Congress has the territorial sovereignty claim. And that was agreed upon, that the United States Congress, Article 4, Section 3, what? Let's go back to that case. What? The federal government. Because United States Congress which was agreed upon through the Northwest Ordinance of 1787, that it would be managed in the hands of Congress, which means that the United States Congress, through Article 4, Section 3 of the United States Constitution, has the territorial sovereignty. And on that, the Supreme Court justices made the interpretation. They know what I know. And even more. Any questions? I'm coming heavy with international law, y'all. It's international law. Let's talk Hawaii. Let's talk Hawaii. How did the United States come into possession of Hawaii? Not through treaty. The international law application is subjugation, but not through treaty. The queen never signed anything. So through subjugation, followed by annexation. Those are two international law applications. Subjugation, annexation. All right. You have acquisition of territory. That's the international law application. Acquisition of territory. There are various modes of acquisition of territory. Discovery, conquest, subjugation, annexation. Abdullah, how is it, Abdullah, that this acquisition of territory and international law, Abdullah, deals with conquests and subjugation? Abdullah, how is it lawful, Abdullah, that these Europeans take the land and they're saying it's lawful, Abdullah, that subjugation? And Abdullah, how is subjugation and discovery and annexation and conquest, how is that lawful? I never said it was. I never said it was lawful. Let me explain. The European powers have maintained, what they did was implemented Inter Caetera Divina of 1493, the Treaty of Utrecht of 1713, and the Peace of Westphalia of 1648. They implemented those documents in modern international law. So where we had acquisition of territory, discovery, Inter Caetera Divina, 1493, subjugation, conquest, loss of sovereignty. They implemented their theft, so that their theft or their conquest can be maintained. So they implemented that in modern international law. Inter Caetera Divina, 1493. Treaty of Utrecht, 1713. That's agreement among themselves, where they would not snatch land from one another without a treaty, and other provisions. The Peace of Westphalia, that was negotiated between the end of the 30-year war, negotiated between 1644 to 1648. And that was when they Hugo von Groot, Latinized Grotius, Hugo van Groot was a Dutch jurist in the late 1500s. Hugo van Groot constructed. There have been many that over the period of 400 years, the 14, 15, 16, and 1700s. There were several definitions of state. So that the most recent definition of state was constructed by Hugo van Groot, the Dutch jurist. Hugo van Groot, Groot, Hugo van Groot. Grotius, Latinized Grotius. He constructed the modern definition of state that they use today in international law, that all these states throughout the world are using today. They implemented that. They drafted his definition in the Peace of Westphalia of 1648. And the modern international law took that definition that was drafted in the Peace of Westphalia. I'm walking you through, y'all. I'm giving you the historical interpretation. I'm walking you through. I never said it's lawful. They have implemented, maintained their conquest, and implemented the Peace of Westphalia, the Treaty of Utrecht of 1713, Intercartera Divina of 1493, and implemented that in modern international law. You see it as acquisition of territory, discovery. I'm being specific as I can. The acquisition of territory, discovery, conquest, subjugation, annexation. I connected the dots for you. The more we know, please, my brothers and sisters, hear me. The more we know, the more effective we can be. Israel, we cannot be effective with misconceptions. We cannot. Israel, we cannot be effective at all. We're the people of the United States. That's the Moors. 35 Moors at the Constitutional Convention. The Moors are part and parcel of this self-government. The Moors are the drafters of Israel. We cannot be effective, Israel. Mm-hmm. I gotta come like this.
Yep.
The more we know with proper concepts, the more effective we can be. We can raise the people up by the hundreds of thousands, millions with proper concepts. For 25 years of my life, from age 25 to age 50, I taught misconceptions for thousands of people. And I said, Israel, if I teach another misconception, I want you to take the next plane flying out of where you are. Come here to Philadelphia and bring a baseball bat. And please don't miss my head. I want you to take a baseball bat and swing it at my head, and please don't miss. I will not teach another misconception. I don't care who it is.
Yeah. Hey.
Any questions? I'm passionate. I'm not, Israel, I would not apologize for my passion. I'm not.
No, don't.
I ain't doing it. So you don't even ask, because I'm not doing it.
We need the fire. That's active energy.
I ain't doing it. So it's don't even ask.
Yeah. There's a couple questions on here though. Somebody said, is this knowledge in your books?
No, because I'm ever growing. And Israel can bear witness.
Yeah.
He and I are working on the book. So answer the question, Israel. The book that it will be the book that talking about the book that you and I are working on. This will be in the book. So this will be in the book that you and I are Israel are working on. So go ahead, go talk about the book, Israel.
Yeah. The book will be clearing up a lot of misconceptions. As far as the United States being looked at as a corporation. What does Congress derive its powers? Creatures of the Constitution versus creatures of Congress, knowing the difference, we'll be pointing those out, correcting the misconceptions. So yeah, that'll be in our book. We're working on that as we speak. So yeah.
So it'll be in the book that Israel coming your way next year. So this will be when I'm talking tonight, will be in the book. Absolutely, that he and I are working on. Yeah. Absolutely.
A lot of
I'm honored. I'm honored. I'm so pleased that I don't have to do this alone.
Right.
That I'm so pleased to have Israel to co-author the book with me. I mean, that's so joy. I'm so joyful with that, to be able to pass this now along and to be able to co-author this book with Israel. I am so happy to be able to do that. And I'm also co-authoring a book with King Al Bey. I'm also co-authoring a book with Rahim Abdullah Bey. So I'm co-authoring a book with three different people.
Mm-hmm.
And you have no idea how happy I am to be able to do that.
Yeah.
Israel, I'll tell you.
Yeah.
And he has grown so much. Yeah, because I wanted him to know it to the point where he can be able to answer so many questions, because it can't be when he and I do tours and then I'm the one doing all the talking. It's not going to be that way. This brother studies.
Yeah.
This brother is being prepared. He'll be able to spit it.
Mm-hmm. Most definitely appreciate it, bro. The one-on-ones, yeah.
Absolutely. Any another question?
Says you made the statement that the United States defeated Great Britain. Did I hear that correctly?
Yes. That ended with the 1783 definitive peace treaty between Great Britain and the United States. Mm-hmm. And there's two articles, of Article 1 and Article 2 is where Great Britain seized the land. Great Britain relinquishes, the word is relinquish, that's the word that's used in the treaty. But United States gained, it wasn't, Great Britain relinquished His Britannic Majesty in Article 1 of the treaty, relinquishes the states, the 13 states, the 13 colonies, the land, to the respective 13 states. What I mean by that, His Britannic Majesty recognizes, acknowledges the United States to be free, sovereign, and independent. The United States viz. Don't say United States. It reads United States viz. V-I-Z, which is Latin, namely, and all 13 states are named. So here's great King George III is treating the states individually. So King George III relinquishes the boundaries that laid out in South Carolina County Charter to South Carolina State. King George III relinquishes the boundaries that laid out in North Carolina County Charter to North Carolina State. King George III relinquishes, that's what that means. United States viz. Namely, all 13 are named. So that's the interpretation. That's the interpretation, because he's cheating with them as he cheats with them. So he's cheating with them individually by the constructive language. By the constructive language, United States viz. All 13 are named by that mere constructive language. And he continues as he cheats with them, because he's cheating with them individually, because he's relinquishing to each of the 13 states individually the boundaries that's laid out in the colony charters. That's Article 1. Article 2 is the survey language that's in the Northwest Territory. That includes part of Minnesota, Ohio, Indiana, Michigan, Illinois, and Wisconsin.
Yeah, I can
And
bring
that's where the 6 largest states made claims to it in 1778.
Yeah, I can bring it on
But
the
it's
screen.
Mhm.
Let me pull up. Hank, can you share the screen?
All right.
Article 1 and Article 2 of the.
We're gonna read it. There we go. Body doesn't hear you.
Brother Hank, can you share the screen?
He probably stepped the potty away. All right. So is there any other questions? Are there any other questions?
Yeah. Get to it. Where does the Montevideo Convention come in? There goes the screen here.
All right, there we go. Screen. Go ahead. Go take that. Go ahead. Let's do that first. All right. Israel's going to read it.
All right. Definitive treaty of peace between the United States and Great Britain, September 3rd, 1783. Definitive peace treaty between the United States and Great Britain, Article 1. Can you see it?
I see it. Yes, I see it.
His Britannic Majesty acknowledges the said United States viz. New Hampshire, Massachusetts Bay, Rhode Island, and Providence Plantations, Connecticut, New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Delaware, Maryland, Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina, and Georgia to be free, sovereign, and independent states, that he treats with them as such, and for himself, his heirs, and successors, relinquishes all claims to the government propriety and territorial rights of the same and every part thereof.
So he transfers the territorial sovereignty. So in international law, the term is known as territorial sovereignty. That's an application. Territorial sovereignty is an international application of law. And that is applied here in Article 1. So you have to know international law. So there are elements to territorial sovereignty. You have to know international law. Like, you can't just read the treaty without the knowledge of international law, because there are international law applications that are being applied. So the territorial sovereignty is being transferred to New Jersey State, South Carolina State, Maryland State, Virginia State, Pennsylvania State, and there are elements of the territorial sovereignty. This is what the United States, here we go. People versus Godfrey. 1819. People versus Godfrey, 1819, New York State Supreme Court case. In that case, the incident happened on the United States military base. A Army soldier had as his prisoner an Army soldier. The Army soldier who was a prisoner had killed someone. So on the way to the barracks, the Army soldier killed the prisoner, an Army soldier, with the bayonet on a military base. You say, well, you would think that the federal government would have jurisdiction. Not in this case. I know it's a military base, but where is the base situated? Who has territorial sovereignty over that land where the United States military base is situated. New York State. New York State had not ceded it to the federal government. And in the case, it reads just that this article, that this treaty, reading this Article 1, and Article 2, the decision, the United States did not acquire any territorial rights in this treaty. United States did not acquire any territorial rights in the treaty. Read it again. Does it read United States? Go ahead, read it again, Israel. Does it read United States?
Now, His Britannic Majesty acknowledges the said United States viz.
There you go. See? There you go.
Yeah,
that I have it. That's the substantive language. The substantive language that the New York State Supreme Court used to render the decision to interpret, this is the substantive language, that the United States did not acquire any territorial rights in this treaty. That's the substantive language. Viz. If you remove viz and all 13 states out of it, it changes the entire meaning. Then you can say United States acquired territorial rights. But because of viz and all 13 named, that construction. Come on, my brothers and sisters.
And it says that he
gotta raise them up to be jurists, man. We gotta raise them up to be jurists.
It said that he treats with them.
Thank you, them.
Yeah.
Plural.
United States is one. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yep.
See? My point is, I'm not making stuff up. I'm showing the finding of facts. You don't need to say Abdullah said anything. But what it is that because I know a lot of the application of law and international law, so I have to give y'all that. I have to give you the term. I have to give you the application. So I'm giving you that to you, and then you look it up, and then we'll do. This is part of our book that Israel will have the applications in there. We'll have the elements in there. But for now, I'm just giving you. I'm identifying the application of law by name. And if you can look it up tonight or whatever you can, but at least you have the application of law, territorial sovereignty, acquisition of nationality through cession and subjugation, and change of sovereignty and its effects upon the nationality of the inhabitants. Those are very loss of sovereignty, acquisition of territory, and there's subjugation, conquest, occupation, and of course you got treaty law, and you got consular relations, and so it's vast, but I've been studying it for 6 years. But my is the hope that is to bring y'all along rapidly. So I've been working with Israel for the past year, and so that he can work with me and preparing lessons and working on this book. I can't do it by myself. Any other questions, Israel?
Yeah, there's a couple on here. Someone said article. No, hold on. Somebody said something about Louisiana on here. I saw that. Well, someone says, do you have any documents you can share by PDF? Can you hear me, brother? What happened? Brother Abdullah?
Sorry, I'm sorry. I was on mute. The International Law PDF book. Oppenheim. I sent it. I sent it a couple weeks ago. I think. Right, serious. If you're listening, I sent that to you this morning. Again, those who are listening, Michael King, right, serious. Terrence, Elkanan. I've also put it in the Telegram groups, various Telegram groups. Raheem. It's the Oppenheim PDF. It's about, that's a 600, that is in 4 parts, and that's worth $600. The printed version is $600. All four parts. I happened to find it a couple weeks ago. I came across it 2023, and not the PDF. I came across just the table of content, and then the price is, like I said, $600 for all 4 volumes. You know, but I actually found all 4 volumes. Y'all have it. I put it in the Telegram groups. You know, that would be it. It has everything in there. It has all of the application. It has all that stuff in there that I'm talking about. Oppenheim. International law. Look up Google International Law Oppenheim, or go to your Israel. Go to your phone and put the search in for your text. Go to my phone and go to the area where I text you, and put search in. Put Oppenheim. International Law Oppenheim. So just type in Oppenheim. HOPPENHEIM. That should come up in your search under my name.
You said HOPP?
Yeah, on the OPPENHEIM. Yeah, that's how you search it. You have it. It'll come up. Cause I texted to you.
Yeah, I got it. The project.
There you go. He gonna put it in the chat. Put that in the chat. There you go. That's the PDF. That's the $600 book. Well, it's four parts. Put that in the chat. Well, I got sources, y'all. Y'all know y'all do. You know I got sources. Y'all, do you? You ain't have to ask me, do I? They don't have to ask, do I?
I just asked for it.
Let's ask for it. You don't have to ask, do you? You don't have to ask, do I? You don't have to ask, do I? Yeah. Can you put it in the chat? You don't have to ask, do I have the sources? Because I'm not coming off the top of my head. I won't do that. So if I reference, yes, I got the sources. Because I'm drawing the conclusions from the sources. I'm referencing the sources. I'm talking the sources.
Yep.
Don't I do that all the time, Israel? That's all. That's what he is. That's all I do. I don't know what else. That's what I know to do. I'll get on the road, don't I? I get on the road and I'll be spitting about 10, 15 sources off the top of my head.
Yeah.
I'll be rolling. Yeah, because once I get into it, then I start at this one, another source, and another source, and another source, and another source, and another source, another source just pops in my head.
Right.
Because that's how I study.
Yeah.
So it's just easy for me to remember sources because that's what I study. I study by analyzing sources. Yeah, I don't study by somebody says. I don't study by so and so said. I don't study that. I don't study by, I'll listen to a YouTube and then sit back like I'm watching a movie or something. Right, and then somebody is talking and talking, and meaning somebody's talking and talking and talking and talking and talking and talking, and they don't present no sources. Like they're talking, and then so and so said, well, that's the claim. No problem, that's a claim. The so and so said is a claim. And so let me teach y'all a little something. When you're watching someone on YouTube and they're talking, listen for their claim. So that's their claim, a statement of claim. And then listen for evidence. Listen for evidence and look how they just support what types of evidence, testimony, primary sources, secondary sources, there's types of evidence. So you listen, you have the claim, you got to have the claim. You got to know the claim. Because then you're looking at, do they support the claim? But if you just walk away and say so and so said, that's the claim. So and so said means so and so claimed, and so presented the following evidence to support his or her claim. I need y'all to come from that to that level. So and so said, that's the claim. Then so and so presented the following evidence to support his or her claim. Now you take it to another level. Does the evidence that so and so presented actually supports his or her claim? So now you become critically, you're analyzing the evidence, or because so and so can make a claim, and so can present what they calling evidence, but what they calling evidence is not actually supporting his claim. Like they could present documentation, but does that support their claim? Or is the evidence sufficient? So there's a book called Asking the Right Question, The Guide to Critical Thinking. Google it. Google Asking the Right Question. Somebody has it. Somebody finds it, put it in the chat. Asking the Right Question, The Guide to Critical Thinking, and one of the authors' name is Brown. I came across this book while I was in graduate school at Rutgers University, Graduate School of Social Work in 1994. Oh, no, I graduated in 93. 1992. 1992. So it's gone through like 12 editions already. It's been used in many universities and schools by Asking the Right Question, the guide to Critical Thinking by Brown and another author. I want to arm y'all. Yeah, I don't want to just come on here and just talk. I don't do that. I'm a teacher. I take pride in that. I take pride in teaching. Any other questions? Oh yeah, go to that question, Israel. Somebody, you was about to read a question?
Yeah, someone said, how does Empress Vardiasi come into play with their UN status?
Well, I don't know. I don't have any documentary evidence to. I don't have any documentary evidence.
Right.
Yeah, that's not there. Yeah, and I'm not gonna make something up. I don't do that. I don't do that. So there's no need for me to talk on it because I can't talk on it because I don't have the evidence to support what she did or not did. All right. So what I can do, let me talk on what I do know. So I'm only going to talk on what I do know. Empress Ghostin's claim is based on a Spanish land grant, French land grant, and English land grant. That's the case. Look at the case. Look up. hold on. Deepa sent asking me to send. Hold on. Let me. Deepa asking me. Let me come back. I gotta. Let me respond because I think. Give me 1 minute. I gotta come back on.
All right.
All right. Yes, that was that wasn't the case. What I thought. All right, Louis is trying to get on. All right. So what's the question is? Oh yeah, without Empress Ghostin. Yes, as I was saying, that her claim, she had a claim. Empress Ghostin has a claim, but based on the claim that Empress Ghostin has been misrepresented. Conscious Moors had misrepresented Empress Ghostin's claim. Conscious Moors have been misrepresenting that Empress Ghostin's claim is a sovereign claim to the land. That's a misrepresentation. That Empress Ghostin won this court case. All right. But all right, she has a claim. All right. So she has a claim based on Spanish land grant, French land grant, English land grant. Look at the case, not Abdullah Bey. Please don't say Abdullah Bey said. Please don't. Please don't. I beg you. Please look up the case right now. Please. It's not Abdullah Bey said. The Empress Ghost, what's called the Turner versus United States. Turner versus United States. Look that up. Please don't say Abdullah Bey said. It's there. What I just said, the case reads, not Abdullah Bey. The case reads. The case summary reads, not Abdullah Bey. Don't say Abdullah Bey said. Look it up for yourself. The case summary reads that the case is based on Spanish land grant, French land grant, English land grant. Not Abdullah Bey said. I'm doing this, Israel. I got to, brother, because we got to kill this. We got to kill this. So-and-so said. The case summary reads. So you're going to look it up. Turner versus United States. Do you look it up, Israel?
Yeah, I'm looking.
All right, because they're gonna say Abdullah said. They're gonna say Abdullah said because it's a habit. That it's lazy. It's a. I'm
What year was
challenging y'all. I'm being hard. Yes, I am. I'm being hard. I have to be. The reason I'm being hard on us is because conscious Moors, as well as unconscious Moors, have set bad habits with y'all. Y'all had not been challenged. You have not been challenged to study. You have not been challenged to research. You've been what? Movie watching. You've been movie watching with your popcorn. You've been movie watching. You go on a particular YouTube or whatever it is, StreamYard. Zoom or whatever you look at a class or whatever that day is, and you chill back. You don't take notes. You chill back and you got your feet up and eating popcorn and and then you've been groomed to so and so said. So I'm challenging you. Yes, I am. Because I want to bring the best out of us. So if you say I'm being hard, yes, I am. Because I know that bad habits have been set in y'all. With this so-and-so said, we got to kill that. We must challenge to do better. So I'm putting a lot on us to challenge, and challenging myself to do better in my teachings. So the case summary reads, so the conscious Moors have been misrepresenting and Empress Ghostin misrepresented. Empress Ghostin misrepresented. Because Empress Ghostin told the conscious Moors and others that she has a sovereign claim based on the lawsuit. Hold on, whoa. No, you don't. Not based on Spanish land grant. Oh, you said sovereign claim. Hold on. The Spanish crown. Hold on, let's follow me. Please follow me, y'all. The Spanish crown conquered our land. Just follow me. Read, look up for yourself. Now, do what they said. The Spanish crown conquered our land. The Spanish crown gave Spanish land grants to soldiers and set up communal trusts, communal land through Spanish land grants. So they gave grant through Spanish land grants. Communal land was granted of our land through Spanish land grant. How can Empress Ghostin make a sovereign claim to the land based on a Spanish land grant? The Spanish crown is the sovereign. Through conquest. How you can take a Spanish land grant granted by the Spanish sovereign who conquered our land and granted Spanish land grants to Spanish subjects, and you say that Spanish land grant gives you sovereign claim? It does not. Not that. How you take a French land grant? You have claim. Your claim is based on the Spanish land grant, French land grant, but it doesn't give you sovereign claim. The Spanish crown's the sovereign. We talk about the Spanish land grant. The Spanish land grant. It was issued by the Spanish sovereign. You can't take that Spanish land grant and say you got sovereign claim to the land. The Moorish claim supersedes the Spanish land grant. That's by conquest. That's not blood rights to the land. The Spanish land grants, French land grants, English land grants do not give you blood rights to the land. That's through conquest. The Spanish land grants are an instrument of conquest. French land grants. Intercartera Divina. Come on, let me talk, y'all, please. You're not going to say Abdullah Bey said. We're going to get out of this Abdullah Bey said crap. Intercartera Divina. 1493. Pope Alexander VI. Granting to the Spanish crown authority to conquer. Through that instrument, Intercartera Divina. The following year, you have the Treaty of Tordesillas. The Treaty of Tordesillas between the Spanish crown, between Spain and Portugal. And the Treaty of Tordesillas of 1494, it marked the land, was called the line. It has the line of demarcation, marking the spoils and the conquest of our land, granting part of it to Spain and part of it to Portugal.
Muted, brother. Muted, brother.
All right, I actually didn't hear you, so I went off. Yeah, the Treaty of Tordesillas of 1494 was called the line of in that treaty, and authorized by Pope Alexander VI. It marked the line of demarcation, giving part of the land to Portugal and part of the land to Spain. Spain got most of it throughout North America, Central America, and South America. All right? Intercartera Divina, March 6, 1493. Treaty of Tordesillas the following year, 1494. This is what? That Johnson case. Johnson versus McIntyre. McIntosh. Johnson versus McIntosh. Here we go. Tying it back in. That Supreme Court case. Johnson versus McIntosh. So the Spanish crown granted Spanish land grants. French crown, French land grants. English crown, English grants and charters and letters patent. But though they're personal rights, but the personal rights are granted. Remember, it's granted though. But the land, the land grants is an instrument of conquest. It's by way of conquest. The conquest has to take place first. They're calling it discovery. All right. It's not discovery. That's what we have to challenge. They had what's a term in international law called terra nullius, land without people, which means that there's no claim to the land. By our not knowing who we are and not organizing a government structure that maintains the loss of our Moorish sovereignty in an abandonment. the reason why in the textbooks they have the quote unquote Indians living in teepees. What does that mean? That land without people, terra nullius. Teepees is what means no fixed structure, nomadic, no development. So they buried the stone heads and the underground cities and the copper mines and Upper Great Lake copper mines to support that claim of discovery. Land without people. That's why they constructed this false history to support their discovery claim. So we have to present the true history and the architecture. The architecture, the underground cities, the pyramids, the copper mines and Upper Great Lakes. That was what? Dismissed their discovery claim. Our organizing and government structure on the road to recover our lost Moorish sovereignty. Our political unity is the key. So bringing it back full circle, that Empress Golston made the claim that she had sovereign rights to the land based on how? Spanish land grants? You have rights based on Spanish land grants. But that's sorry. Her rights were based on Spanish land grants, French land grants, English land grants. The case, not Abdullah Bey, the case summary reads, not Abdullah Bey. Not a question. I just wanted to bring that full circle. Because Israel, I want to be complete in my answer. That's why, all right. There's some people call me a pain in the ass, which I'm not a pain in the ass. They're used to quick answers. They're used to, all right. The more you know, it depends who you talk to. That's all. If you talk to somebody like me, it's the more you know, the more you can give. That's all. So if they're not used to talking to somebody like me, who can go in and go deep, if you're just used to what it is, Israel, I'm not a pain in the ass. What it is, they're used to their small, more conscious, more circle. Let's talk these dynamics. Yeah. I'm gonna let them know that Israel, that's what I mean. I'm not a pain in the ass. What it is that they're used to the small, conscious, more circle. So they're used to talking to only 5 or 6 people, right? And they got limited knowledge. And so they can't really go in, and they don't know etymology and semantics and enough history and international law. And so they can't. So what Israel, he'll tell you, don't I come from international law? Don't I come from etymology? Don't I come from history? Don't I come from semantics? And I tie it all together. So, but if they're not used to that, and they're just in that small circle of people, they're not really going to grow because they got limited knowledge, and they're used to quick answers, and because they're not limited. That's all that is. That's all that is, my brothers and sisters. I've been studying for a long time, researching grammar, etymology, semantics, vocabulary building, international law, history, treaty studies, reading letters. And I've been studying for a long time. I don't claim to know it all, but I do know a lot. And I can make the connections. So I come from political science, political philosophy, jurisprudence, semantics, grammar, vocabulary building, etymology, morphology, phonology, dictionary study skills. I come from, and I'm able, Israel, I'll tell you, I'm able to bring all of them into a discussion and make the connection. Tell me, Israel.
Yeah. Yeah. It all go in sync. Like all in sync. Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I'm not bragging. I don't brag. I'm here. I teach, but I'm just making it clear that we just used to quick answers. Limited studying. We used to that, and all I'm doing is and I'm just saying this so that I can challenge us. I'm not bragging about what if I don't pass it on, who gives a rat's? Because if I know all this and don't pass it on, what does that do for me? Nothing. Great, Israel.
Yeah, I'm trying to find the.
You're trying to. The case, I think it's Turner versus. Is that?
I found some different things.
It's this. It should. Yeah, I have it, but I can't. I'll send it to you later. Then.
All right.
Because I found it in the summer. I found a couple of them. And it's a Turner versus.
The heirs, things like the heirs of Turner or something.
Yeah, that's it. The heirs of Turner.
Yeah, but
it should give you a case summary.
No, there's no case. I mean, hold on.
Oh, man, it is.
Yeah, it's on there. I gotta find the right link. Right.
I got you, but you did find a case, right?
Yeah.
All right. I mean, if you got one, that's good. I mean, we can put it in the link so they can see it.
United States versus Turner, 1850.
Yeah, that's it.
All right.
Yeah, the heirs of Turner. That's it.
Yeah, it says syllabus. The decision of this court in the case of the United States versus King and Cox, 3 Hal.773 and 48 U.S. 7 Hal.823. Again, affirm viz. That the contract between the Baron de Carandale and the Mark de Mason Rue conveyed no interest in the land to Mason Rue, but was merely intended to mark out by certain indefinite boundaries the limits of the establishment, which he was authorized to form. The contract must be judged of according to the laws of Spain. But under those laws, whenever there was an intention to grant private property, words were always used which severed the property from the public domain. The absence in this case of the royal order of 1795 and of all testimony respecting the genuineness of the certificate of survey by Trudeau makes no difference in the decision of the court. The construction of the grant was the main point of that case and is also of this. Whether or not the instrument was a perfect and complete grant by the laws of Spain was a question for the court and not for the jury. The case of the United States versus King and Cox explained this was a petition filed in the district court by the appellees who claimed a tract of land under the Mason Rule grant. The district court decided in favor of the petitioners, and the United States appealed to this court.
It says Spain, right? Oh, see?
Yeah, the laws of Spain, yep.
Right, because it's a Spanish land grant.
Mm-hmm.
It's based because the Spanish land grant is based on the laws of Spain. Right. Thank you, brother, for finding that, brother. Because brother, they would have said Abdullah Bey said. I'm telling you.
Yeah, I'm gonna post it in the.
Yeah. Yes. This is what we need. Because that's been going on for so long, man. Over 30 years. And I spoke to Miss Golson back in 94 a couple of times on the phone. I met her in 94, person in Cleveland. And I sent her a couple of articles to put in her newspaper. Yeah, I had direct communication with her. But I didn't. Of course, I didn't know this then. I mean, I didn't. Trust me. What I know now, I was not even, man. I mean, that was 90. I learned. I've since learned so much since. Oh my goodness. Any other questions?
Someone says, how does it support all your points you spoke about tonight, and how shall it help us regain our position as landlords?
Well, great question. We've been rattled with misconceptions. So let me start there. My empowering you with proper concepts. I mean, just follow me now, because it's a good question. So I'm not gonna tear down the question, but I want them to recognize what I'm giving. Keep in mind, let's go back to the misconception now. We, the people of the United States, the Moors, 35 Moors were at the United States Constitutional Convention. Moors are part and parcel of this said government, United States government. The Moors are the drafters of the United States Constitution. Those are misconceptions. By my clearing up those misconceptions and directing you to international law studies, making very clear that the United States Constitution is a continuation of European conquest, colonization, and subjugation. Remember, you don't see that. I mean, there's more information, but I'm saying that right there. Mm-hmm. You don't see the power, how and clearing up misconceptions. I mean, help me out, Israel.
Yeah.
I tell you what, Israel. Tell them your experience, because I told them mine. Because you were rattled with misconceptions. I tell them your growth over the past 13 months. Because you and I have been dancing for about 13 months now. Tell them your growth, and I tell them where you were prior to you and I dancing.
Yeah. Before I connect with the brother Abdullah, I was in the misconceptions thinking, 35 Moors set up the United States. This was our land, the United States was occupying the Moorish government or the Moorish seats, but yeah, just with a little tweak, like a little adjustment, mainly that definitive peace treaty, the 1783 definitive peace treaty between Great Britain and the United States. That's what cleared up a whole lot for me. Like that was all right. So Moors established the United States Constitution is a misconception, because the United States was recognized as an independent nation, a sovereign nation by Morocco. So Morocco was the first nation to recognize the United States as a sovereign and independent nation, as a whole, not each individual states. So Great Britain recognized each individual state, the 13 original states, individually through the 1783 definitive peace treaty. And then you got the 1786/87 treaty of peace and friendship between Morocco and the United States. So Morocco was holding they were in a sovereign position at that time. So it didn't make sense that Moors would branch away from their mother nation, their home nation, establish a nation for colonial purposes, to take over and colonize their own lands, which they already had. You know what I'm saying? So like that.
You see how he grows into the knowledge. You see how he has, because he knows now. You see how he's thinking that that change in thinking, for me too, the shift in thinking,
Yeah.
that's major.
Mm-hmm.
Now, couple expand that to thousands of us. I mean, it's you gotta understand what proper concepts can do for us.
Yeah.
You gotta remember, keep in mind, misconceptions inhibited my growth. Remember, 25 years, y'all. 25 years from age 25 to age 50. I was trapped into 35 Moors. We the people of the United States of the Moors. The Moors are the founding fathers. The Moors drafted I was trapped into that. So I didn't see. But when you can now clearly see, like, wow, we can become more effective and get to the proper remedy.
Right.
Like, you said, hell, we weren't talking about recovery of lost Moorish sovereignty. Hear me out. You said, how to help? I can answer questions, y'all. I can answer. Throw 1,000 at me. Throw me 1,000 questions. Throw me 1,000 of them. Myself included, we're not talking about recovery of lost Moorish sovereignty. What was the discussion? Moors are part and parcel. So, all right, this is our government. This is the Moorish government. Moors are the founders. We weren't talking about recovery of lost Moorish sovereignty. We weren't talking about reversion of sovereignty. We weren't talking about reversion of sovereignty and re-enter the international community as an old and original state. We weren't talking about restoring Moorish statehood. Like, that wasn't even a discussion. That wasn't even a study. Like, there wasn't even heavy studies in international law, heavy studies in treaty studies and consular. Absolutely not. So this change, this proper concepts can really propel us. Next question. You got to start from misconception. You got to start from a point of misconception.
Yeah.
And see, and they start, and how has the misconceptions inhibited our growth and development in even areas of study? It even had been said that Louis Ali said that we don't need to study international law. I didn't say Ali said. Hear me out, please. I didn't say Ali said. I said it had been said to me by conscious Moor. He said, not Abdullah Bey. The conscious Moor said, not Abdullah Bey. The conscious Moor said to me, quote, Drew Ali said, we don't need to study international law. Please don't say, Abdullah Bey said, quote, that Drew Ali said, we don't need to study international law. I didn't say that. I said a conscious Moor said to me, quote, that Drew Ali said, we don't need to study international law. I gotta do this right here. I'm telling you, because you all they know they hear something else and they'll run with it and they'll talk shit about me on Facebook, and I'm telling you, Drew Ali, Abdullah talking shit about Drew Ali. I'm telling you, he knows.
Yeah. It's a sensitive topic for some of them.
I know this. I gotta make it clear. Abdullah Bey ain't say that.
Right. Right. Yeah.
And other questions?
Let's see. Someone said, yes. How do we challenge the French, Spanish, and British governments who stole our lands?
All right. Great question.
Yeah.
All right. We had the Moorish Political Unity Conference and the Moorish government, the Moorish School of Government and International Law sponsored the Moorish Political Unity Conference. And on May 18, 2024, Louisa Flores, who was supposed to be our guest tonight, she was one of the keynote speakers. And she is a conduit. She has a large outreach along the Atlantic Sea, along the East Coast. Her outreach are organizations. So I've been working with her for the past year now. And the topic is a conduit, Louisa Flores, a keynote speaker of the May 18, 2024 Moorish Political Unity Conference, a conduit of Moorish nationality, Moorish history, and Moorish political unity education. I'm mentioning her because she's was scheduled to be the guest speaker for the night, and she'll be on. We'll schedule her back. All right, no problem. You know, just try to set her up where she can be with someone else, but that has a computer. All right. And so is to connect, is to bridge that gap as she has developed relationships, and she was born into community organizing. She was born into this. Her grandparents did it before she was born. She would have been talking about this, and I had actually read that in her bio. As I introduced, I read that as in the bio that her grandparents. Her mother was a member of the Black Panther Party. Her grandparents were community organizers before she was born. She was born into this as far as community organizing. So she already had a leg up because her grandparents and parents paving the way for her in a network. So she had built a large network and outreach. So she became Moorish conscious, and so there's been a paradigm shift for her. I was introduced to her in January of last year to be a keynote speaker for our May 18th, 2024 conference. And I've been working with her ever since. For the past 14 months now, one-on-ones, inviting me to different events. She and I co-hosted the event in January. This was part of her presentation, and she'll give it a formal presentation. But I'm using her as an example of answering in the outreach. I have more outreach, but I'm using her because she was scheduled to speak tonight, and so. We have other keynote speakers and panelists who have their own outreach. So what we're doing is we're facilitating through various outreach. In fact, Israel and I has put together the Moorish Midwest, and Israel talked about this, the Moorish Midwest Educational Network. Israel presented the flyer, all right? And that comprises of 10 states, 10 cities in the Midwest. And so I've been working leading up to the conference and since the conference with the various keynote speakers, panelists, those who are part of security, about 40 or 50 who attended the conference in May here in Philadelphia. I've been working with them leading up to the march, one-on-ones, putting together Sister Sasha. Sister Sasha was also a keynote speaker of the panelists. She's part of the World Conference of Mayors. She has extensive outreach. Quasi and I brought her on, as well as Louisa Flores, as on the committee of the Human Rights Nationality for Our Children National Campaign. Sister Shantae Lene Horford. I've known her for 18 months. I was introduced to her 18 months ago. And Israel, Quasi, King, and I are part of what she has, what's called the birth of a new nation. So we're working with her, so our outreach has expanded big time. Since the conference, our outreach has expanded. Brother Raza, who has the Harmony Fete. Sister Louisa and I hosted the Harmony Fete and at Brownsville Heritage House in Brooklyn, New York. Y'all seen it on Facebook Live in January. She and I co-hosted that. I also hosted an event last month at the same library. So I have working with Brother Raza. Brother Raza attended the conference. So King Al Bay and I, King Al Bay connected with us 2.5 years ago in September of 2022. And King Al Bay was also a keynote speaker of the Moorish Political Unity Conference. I had Sister Nitra, the associate professor, and she's been studying my works for 4 years. And I've been working with her since, and she was a panelist for the conference. I have maintained connections with 40 to 50 of those who attended the conference. Building them up, Brother Rahim Abdullah Bey was part of the security of the conference. He and I've had one-on-ones since September of last year. He is a human rights defender of the Human Rights Commission, which he became part of that in December or October of last year. So he expanded his connections through that vehicle. And so I was also awarded certificate by Church of Scientology. So my point I'm making is, you say how? I'm giving you the how. The how is connecting. It's expanding our connections and bringing the various outreaches together. So I'm open to working. This is the how. Our brother Al Patah, and what organizations educational? What's the name of his organization? Brother Al Patah has hosted various let's call it Knowledge Fest.
Oh yeah.
And Louisville, Detroit, Cleveland, and so forth in the Midwest, Columbus, Ohio, and he's going to have an event in Louisville at the African American Center in Louisville that hosts 3,000 people. So Israel and I we are already primed for that, because we set up the Moorish Midwest Educational Network, which has 10 cities in the Midwest. This is how. It's a continuation of the Moorish Political Unity Conference. The continuation of the activity of unity through what? Increasing education and networking. This is the how. All right. Next question. Brother Quasi, who's been with us for 2.5 years. Brother Quasi, he will be on May 12th, I believe. So Brother Quasi will be doing what Louisa Flores was scheduled to do tonight, and we'll bring her back on. We'll bring her on. Well, we schedule rather, proper. Well, we schedule Louisa Flores. Well, Brother Quasi Ill of Tri-Regima. He's also the committee chair of the Moorish Nationality, Moorish Human Rights Nationality for Our Children National Campaign. The campaign came about, and the idea for the campaign came about in January of last year. Quasi has he'll have his 5th annual Easter event in LaGrange, Georgia on April 20th of next month. He had the 4th annual one last year. I think it was April 5th. He had about 200 plates. He had it in the housing development. It'll be in the same housing development. It was over 200 adults and children attended. They had games. And we had developed nationality games. And I said to him, I suggested to Quasi in January of last year to get a poster, get a banner made, the human rights banner made. So Quasi got the banner made. He had the banner, had the children and the volunteers take pictures in front of the banner, along the banner, side the banner. And then that birthed the idea of, well, let's make this a national campaign. You got the banner here now. You got the pictures. So he was sending me the pictures. I was posting them on my Facebook and so forth and TikTok. All right. So let's really do this. Let's make this a national campaign. So we brought in Louisa Flores. We brought in Sister Sasha. Sister Sasha connected Quasi and me to the save out for the World Conference of Mayors. So Quasi and I are members of the affiliates of the World Conference of Mayors Save Our Children Committee. So that expanded our connections. So now, Sister Sasha connects put that on the flyer of the Harmony Fest. Brother Raza, who has technical knowledge and outreach, very organized. So since the conference, our outreach and network, educational knowledge has expanded big time. That's the how. I can answer. Throw 1,000 at me.
Good. Ready?
Y'all ready?
All right, so it'll be the last one.
It'll be the last one. Mm-hmm.
So this is Yaya Kamara. They say, Abdullah, we were studying together in Professor Burton classes.
Oh man, my assistant, one of my assistants with Robert Wilkins. Robert Wilkins and Brother Yaya were my assistants for years at the at the Pan-African Studies Community Education Program at Temple University. They were my assistants for years. 2000. Rob Wilkins was one of my students in 2017, the fall of 2007.
Yeah.
And he became my assistant right after the course was over. He was from 2008 until 2019. Rob Wilkins was my assistant, and along with Brother Yaya.
All right.
Brother Yaya became my assistant in 2005. In 2005, Brother Yaya became my assistant in 2005. Temple University, Pan-African Community Education Program. I taught etymology there from the fall of 2003 to the fall of 2019.
Right.
Amanda Siegel was one of my students. She came from Florida for 3 months, and she took my class at Temple University here in Philadelphia.
Right. Yeah,
so I got outreach, y'all. We got outreach. We got connections.
Yeah. He was just asking, are you saying that we have misinformation? I guess
Absolutely.
back then, so yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Which doesn't empower us.
Yeah, right. That's the reality check. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be it. You say that'll be the last one.
That's the last question. Comments.
All right, read some of the comments.
What a great teacher. Literally connected the dots, comprehend and overcome the dehumanization.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate that. These things say I'm a pain in the ass, so hey.
Someone said, after studying the treaties for all Moorish naval powers, I stopped spreading Moorish misconceptions.
Oh, hey, see? Study. You have to study in. You have to read, see? That's my point.
What an excellent presentation of fact. So they know you're coming with facts, yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. See nothing else? All right.
Yes,
that'll be it. What we got down the pike? We got on Wednesday. You and I got to work on that presentation. I'll be up early tomorrow. Just call me when you get up. So we got that the class on Wednesday. We got you did the you actually read.
Yeah.
No, that's right. You actually gave them that tonight. Getting ready for Wednesday. Yes, that'll be the first one. It's every first and third Wednesday of the month.
Yeah. That's
the Moorish Midwest Educational Network, and we have the Telegram page, and then it'll be the Zoom link. The reoccurring Zoom link is on the various Telegram pages. I think I posted on my Facebook page, Abdullah Bey's Facebook page, Brother Israel's posted on his page, Facebook page, and we'll continue to post that tonight. We'll post that tonight or early tomorrow morning. I want to thank you. We will reschedule for our sister Louisa Flores, as she was a keynote speaker of the May 18, 2024 Moorish Political Unity Conference. She is also a member of the Moorish, the Human Rights Nationality for Our Children National Campaign, and a host of other connections, but that she will talk about. And we already have the PowerPoint presentation ready for her. I'll reach out to her and we'll reschedule. All right. And then we have where she can connect with someone that has a computer, so we can really, because this is very important, because this will be a launching pad for her. All right. So once again, Louisa Flores, a conduit for Moorish nationality, Moorish history, Moorish political unity education. And we'll reschedule, and I'll keep you posted, and we'll just do another flyer and so forth. Hank, I want to thank you, Hank, as always, brother. I greatly appreciate you, brother, for offering this platform. I've been on this platform since this first Monday of December of 2023 to get my books. It's been going all the night. mooresandmasonry.org for Moors and Masonry Part 1, Moors and Masonry Part 2, How Venus and Moon Rule, Etymology and Vocabulary, Supplementary 1, the Masonic Compass Square and the Connection, the Measurement, the Timekeeping, and the Illuminati and the Illumination of the Mind. Go to mooresandmasonry.org for pre-recorded classes. Free. Go to the Moroccan Post Media YouTube page. That's the Moroccan Post Media YouTube page. Those in the Midwest, we see you on Wednesday at what time? 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Those in the Midwest, the class will be on on Zoom, and we'll have it uploaded on the Moroccan Post Media YouTube page. All right, after the next day. Thank you, everyone. Peace.
Peace.